Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Trustees of Posterity's YouTube channel. Now we are here on the outskirts of town in Brekusu, Ashesi University campus, and we are interviewing a young lad about misconceptions because our problem is poor access to information in Africa, and we are basing on misconceptions. So here we have a young lad in our studio. So, hello.
Hi.
Can you please tell us your name and introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Iowin Asinora, and I'm a first year student in Ashesi University. Yeah, more or less, yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay, so we invited you here because as our problem, we are working on how to clear up misconceptions, right? And we want to know, have you ever gone outside the country before? Have you ever traveled outside Africa before?
Yeah, yes, a number of times.
Okay, to an example, like just a
Mainly
handful of
to the
places.
US, the UK.
Okay, and how was it? Like, tell us your experience. First of all, in what year? Like, what year did you go? Like, how old were you?
It's been a continuous thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, 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 okay,
Most
okay.
recent was a few months ago.
Okay. So tell us your experiences.
It's usually fun. I always go and I meet with family and friends, hang out, interact with a lot of people, meet new people. A lot of good memories. A lot of good memories.
Okay, okay. So right now what we're focusing on, are there any misconceptions outside according to like your knowledge?
Yeah, yeah,
There
definitely.
are.
There are.
Please give us some examples.
Um, I think a lot of these misconceptions they are from the media about foreigners, non-Africans see of the African continent in their media. So, for example, I met some American friends of mine this summer. I was vacationing in America, and within our regular conversations, certain things came up. They were surprised that I knew as much about certain things as they did, and that's because they didn't know or think that Africans we were exposed to the kind of cultural and educational indoctrination that they had been. So it came as a bit of a shock to them. But what I told them was that right now it's a global world. The stuff that you have access to is the stuff that we have access to. So yes, we do have Wi-Fi back home. We have iPhones in Africa. We have the infrastructure we need. We got roads. We got quality hospitals. We live in houses. You do not live in mud houses, and that's one thing.
Right.
Everyone thinks that all Africa is a village. They think it's a jungle basically. So they asking, do you get round? How do you swing from vine to vine in the trees like Tarzan?
Oh my god.
I look at them and I'm like,
The 21st
yeah, and
century.
I go like, ooh, ooh, while I'm doing that. Yeah, that's what I do. Are there lions and stuff? I'm like, yeah, I've got 6 of them for pets in my house.
Yeah, there it
Because
is.
that's it's a problem when they think like that. I actually don't see it as malicious as intended racism. I don't want to take it that far, but it's just that stereotypes are just so commonly accepted in our world, and it's all because of what we've been exposed to for a prolonged period of time. We've seen an archetype of the African and African setting, and it's difficult to think outside that setting. So when you see an African, you're more or less inclined to traditionally think he is black and he is rough, he is
Four.
savage,
Yeah, yeah.
or yeah, those are problems that we need to work on. We need to propagate a different kind of mindset towards how people think about the African. Yeah.
Okay, okay. That is great
Yeah,
insight
very.
actually.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
yes, yes. So that is what we are doing. We want to bring in a new voice, a positive voice, not just any voice that just does what the people want, but we are standing up, right? And then we're bringing down all those strongholds in our mind that say that Africa is a certain way, that you must see koshoko babies around. When you think of Africa, that's like the first thing that comes to mind: diseases, poverty, and all those
Yeah.
things. So that's what we are doing. We're actually bringing down all those things, right? And then we are putting in positive, like we want to birth a positive mindset of new, like, Africans, like, and we're starting from the youth. Yeah. So okay, so do you think that what we are doing, like, okay, first of all, let me ask you this: do you think that, no, what solution would you think is best to eradicate such things in Africa and outside?
Okay, well, with the information that people are getting, I think it's all just comes from regulating the media.
Hey
Um,
guys, can you lower your voices? People need to sleep.
yeah. Um, what generally happens is that people, when it's not always for a negative reason, you see a lot of foreign NGOs coming to Africa. They take pictures and record the problems that are here, and then they take them back home for people to know. So when that happens, it's not so much of a problem that people see starving children dying of malaria, and then kind of assume that the whole of Africa is like that. What we could do is to show both sides of the coin. You could come and then show that yes, there are problems here that need to be solved. On the other hand, we are making great strides, and we are making progress in what we are doing. We of course we cannot lie to ourselves that Africa is a Dubai or a China when we are not. There are those problems, but we don't want to make it all negative. We need to show that yes, we need to represent the whole story, and the whole story is what's the true story, basically. So we could show the problems and then try and work on them. At the same time, we could also show where we have found some success or where we are doing things right, so that we know,
And improve.
yeah, we know where we are going wrong and how we can work on things. Yeah, so it all just comes down to regulating the media, and then making sure we're showing the right stuff
Okay.
to those outside Africa.
Thank you very much for
Yeah,
your insight.
definitely, sure.
Thank you very much. So viewers, you have heard it for yourself. We need to have a new voice, a positive voice, a voice that portrays Africa as it should be. Yes, we admit that there are negative parts, but there are also positive parts. So I believe that with this problem that we have, which we are finding solutions to, we can actually make Africa a better place, both like in perspective, both outside and also in Africa. Thank you very much. This is Trustees of Posterity.